Good morning.
Hello, everyone. Again. Yes.
Hi. I got inspired yesterday. I got a phone call from one of our longtime patrons who wasn't feeling so well. And I told her that we were going to do a little demo today to help her with her immune system and to feel better.
Right.
And this is something we were intending on sharing anyway. So here we have it. And you can do this at home with using acupressure, or see what we're going to do today, because we're going to light things on fire.
Yay!
Yay!
The pyrotechnics.
Yay. So let's get started. So there's this ancient technique called moxabustion in Chinese medicine. And we do use it at our clinic, and it's something you can use at home. And I love that that you're able to do that, and you can use it for your own self-care. So since our clinic is closed right now on pause, this is something you can do at home. All right, so let's start to show this. This is the moxa stick. It looks a bit like a cigar. It's actually quite beautiful with the writing on it. I'm trying not to lean in the candle so that my hair doesn't light on fire. All right, so this is what it looks like. If I just break open and this is what I do for my patients in the room so they can see, there's actually herbs in there. And that's actually what they call the moxa punk. And the moxa itself is an herb called Artemisia vulgaris, and that's also known as mugwort, and also one of the Artemisia genuses is wormwood as well. It does grow in the Northeast in our area in upstate New York, as
Mostly
well
along
as
rivers, I believe. Most rivers in this area have some type of Artemisia growing.
Yeah, so you might have Artemisia in your own yard. It is
Right.
actually kind of attractive. But let's show you how to use it. So this,
Okay.
Rick's going to show you how to light it up, and maybe we should talk about the attributes first before we start lighting things on fire.
Well, a couple of things. This is the stick form of moxa. You may have been to an acupuncture clinic where they have other forms of moxa. This is the most common form. They have something called loose moxa, which they put a little bit of something that's a little tacky on your skin, and then they'll take a little bit of roll of this, like Laura showed the internal part of this, and they'll lay that on there, and they'll take a piece of incense and they'll light it just until it starts to really warm the point on the skin, and they'll pull it off. There's a variety of different techniques. There's bird pecking, they call it. There's sweeping.
We're going to show you that.
We're going to show all that.
And
So
I think why we chose this format is it's easy to do at home. I'm not sure, although I'm sure you guys are very able, rolling up the moxa and then putting it directly on the skin,
Right.
and then lighting it on fire might not be
Not
as
good.
easy.
Yeah.
We're going to start
we're
here.
trained in that, right.
We're going to start here before we have you put things on your body and, light it up.
The reason we're using a candle has the most consistent, because sometimes it takes a few seconds to light it. So it smolders like a cigar, like Laura said earlier. And so we use a candle just because you don't have to sit there and hold a lighter or a match. So we have a candle. So this is a brand new stick. So it takes a little longer sometimes, and you can see that I have the end of it right over the flame. And now we have little moxa extinguishers at the clinic. They're made of very heavy duty stainless steel. Now, just to let you know this is a disclaimer about this. We have a sign in our clinic said the odor you are smelling is moxa, a therapeutic device used in acupuncture. It is often said that it smells like pot. So just to let you know.
And Rick loves to say, how would you know what pot smells like?
I do say that to a patient. How would you know? So I will tell you this. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated room. I know it's winter. We're going into the spring. Actually, we're in spring now. But just open a window just because it's smoky. I mean, it's smoky stuff. So you can see now, and sometimes you blow. So I'll take a little bit of an ash, something to hit the ash, and just blow it.
Yeah, you might want a little ashtray
And
there.
See how you had that
Now
nice
it's getting
bright
nice and
flame.
glowy.
Now, this is to tap an ash. You can have an ashtray. Who has ashtrays these days, actually? It's going to be, you could have a dish that, an older dish or something, not plastic, please, something, glass, ceramic, something like that.
Now it smells like a fraternity house in here.
How would you know?
I don't know. Busted.
So, now we have our smoldering moxa stick. You can kind of see it on there.
Yeah,
You can
that's
see the
kinda
smoke,
cool
right?
looking.
You can see that. So I'm not getting a contact high. I don't know what that would be like either. So we have the smoldering moxa stick. Now, a couple of disclaimers about this too. Do not use it around any sensory orifice as far as like not close to the eyes. We've used it for Bell's palsy on the side of the face, but you really have to be trained to make sure your hand is covering the eye, nose area, but you really want to avoid like the mouth, the nose, the eyes.
You can do it close to that area,
Yes.
but I would say you would want some direction from an acupuncturist
Right.
if you're going to go do that. So this other point that we're going to do it on, stomach 36,
On the leg.
is a wonderful point for immune system. But you guys are probably wondering why we would be doing this. So moxa is actually a very tonifying or strengthening technique. So when you do it on a point, it can enhance that point's function. And the Chinese medicine theory is that it can bring the effect of the point even deeper, warming it and stimulating it and increasing the circulation in the area.
Right.
And it's actually been pretty well researched. And
Oh, yeah.
there's one point in particular.
Yes, we're going to do stomach 36. This is, I said the other day, this is a kitchen sink point. And really, quite honestly, this point really is the kitchen sink point.
Yeah,
this
this
point
is it.
and that and large intestine 4, which we showed the other day for acupressure on the hand, are the two most commonly used points in acupuncture. So just to let you know that. Stomach 36, Susan Li, means three-leg Li. It is a point that if you were tired, and it was a pedestrian society back then, when you were tired or fatigued, you could massage or moxa this and walk another 3 Li. So it has
That's why the name is called,
Susan Li.
yeah, like 3 Mile.
Like 3 Mile. So we're going to demonstrate this point. Now, am I finding it on myself or you?
I think you're finding it on me.
Okay. All right.
Because, you know,
I'm going to move
there's
the candle.
my knee.
Yep. So there's a variety of
Can you
different
see the
ways. Yep, they can see it on there's a variety of different ways to find this point. I find the quickest way is just light touch up. This is the tibia, your shin. So we just go up there, and there's a natural stopping place that happens. And we were all trained in San Diego, so it's called the surfer's bump, because surfers tend to squat on their tibia when they're going out on their board to in the water. So another way is with the knee bent like this, you have these little nostrils. They call the calves nostrils right here. So one way is just take the width of your hand, the 4 fingers right here, and at the bottom of your man, can you hold that for just a second,
Yeah.
Mark? So right at the bottom of your index finger, so 4 fingers wide, at the bottom of your little finger, when they say 1 finger breath, I know this is getting complicated, but this is the crest. So just go like this, 1 finger breath over from that on on the edge of that tibia.
So basically, real quick, bottom of the patella or that kneecap, 4 fingers, come down to right where the pinky lands or right below it, and then just come off that big bone there, which is the tibia.
Which is 1 finger breath.
So super simple. It just sounds complicated.
And you know, the thing is, you'll know because it's sensitive there. On almost every human being I've ever met, not sensitive, painful, you'll go, oh, there it is. It's pretty easy to find. So,
And remember, you have like a quarter size area.
Yeah,
so as long as you're moxing around in the area, you're fine.
Right. And so, as we talked about a moment ago, there are different ways to do it. Sparrow pecking means you're literally like a bird pecking at a worm. And then ironing is like you're literally ironing a shirt. So we want to stay in that general region, as Laura just said. So you hold the stick not close to the flame, about halfway up on a full stick, and you want to put your hand near where you're moxing, because if a person has any numbness or tingling there, they're not going to be able to feel the heat sensation as effectively. So you keep your hand there, and you tell the person, say, let me know if it gets too hot. If you're doing it on yourself, you'll know, of course.
Yeah, you don't need to put your hand there.
You don't need to. So I'm just doing this pecking like this, right?
You want to come about 1 inch to 2 inches from the skin.
Right.
So
Now, can you feel that
close,
warmth I'm doing
yes.
that? Right.
Ow! Just kidding.
Hilarious. And now the ironing. So this is just for a little broader, just a little above and below stomach 36. So we're
This
just
is
going.
the only time he does the ironing.
Wrong. Who's the clean freak?
Hey,
about?
watch what you're doing.
I'm taking this ashtray and I'm tapping a little bit of the ash off. And if I not effective, I just gently go, and then you can see it brings the heat out, the ash off. So again, ironing, pecking. Now stationary is you literally just go, like Laura said, maybe about 1 inch or 1.5 inches above the point, and you hold it until you start feeling it warm. And just pull up, and then you can go down again.
Super soothing, actually. It feels really good. So go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that moxa deepens the therapeutic effect of the treatment, as Laura said earlier. This was developed in really the north of China. They didn't have central heating. They used this to warm. These are warming herbs in here, things like cinnamon, aconite, things like that, are dried, and artemisia, as Laura mentioned earlier, and rolled into what they call the stick form. So these are warming herbs because that's exactly what it does. The Chinese aren't into cold or ice. So this point, you want to talk about the attributes?
Yeah, so stomach 36, there's one other technique that I use a lot with my patients. It's just like a clockwise rotation, just around the point. Very simple. If you're doing it yourself, just rotating around the point. They recommend maybe doing moxa 5 to 10 minutes a day. And if you were just trying to keep your immune system strong, like you're worried during this pandemic, or if you're working on someone that has a lower immune system, you could do this 5 to 10 minutes a day. If you're not feeling well, you might want to do it a couple times a day. So stomach 36 is the kitchen sink point. It is also sometimes called the point of 100 diseases because it treats so many different things. It really helps out with energy level. It's a stomach point, so of course it benefits digestion. It's wonderful for the respiratory system and treating asthma. It's great for chi or energy. I'm trying to think of great for relaxing, good for mental health and physical health.
I would say, and to jump on what Laura said, almost to the diagnosis, any digestive issue. This is on the stomach channel, but so anything from bloating, constipation, diarrhea, anything, any of those issues that people tend to have, just indigestion, belching, any of those digestive-based sensations or situations you have, this is a beneficial point for that.
And also it is good for leg pain, naturally, because it's on the leg. All right, so let's show you how to extinguish this, since we're, of course, over our 5 minutes.
Yes, as usual. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, this is uncooked rice. So you can, if you have a bowl of sand at home, you could use that. But uncooked rice is a good way to put out your moxa as well. So you don't want to use cooked rice because that stinks and it's a waste of good cooked rice.
And it would stick to the stick. So then you just take, because this is like going to be your ashtray, because if you just put it in an ashtray or dish, it's just going to continue smoldering. So we want to extinguish this smoking stick. So we just take it, put it in the rice. Remember, uncooked is important. And make sure you turn it down. I pushed it down to almost the bottom, and you can see it's standing up. And I would just don't put it in a place like over a carpeting, like if the stick fell.
Put it somewhere where a non-flammable surface.
A kitchen countertop or something, just in case if you didn't push it down far enough. I mean, we've had moxa sticks fall, even with our moxa extinguisher in the clinic, and we're in there, so we see it and we take care of it. It doesn't burn anything, but you just don't want to take any chances when you're dealing with fire.
Yeah.
Anything with a flame, so please be careful.
Just some research on this, because we always have to geek out about it. There's actually a point on the outside of the nail of the little toe that is UV67,
right.
And it is used very, very successfully. I think it's got a 70% success rate in breech presentation or malposition of the fetus. When a woman's pregnant, if you moxa that point, just moxaing, it will have a 70% success rate in turning the baby. And actually...
And that's been researched as well, as Laura said. It was in JAMA, their Journal of American Medical Association, did a huge article on it as well.
And our daughter Lily was breached, and that's what I did. And she turned
to normal position.
So that's kind of cool.
Yes.
And one other little thing. So Artemisia is the genus of the family of plants that moxabustion is made out of. And Artemisia was, there was a doctor in China, Dr. U2's the band, Dr. Tu Yu. She won the Nobel Prize for Medicine in 2015, the first time someone's won it for Chinese medicine research. And what she did is she found a component of Artemisia that actually is used to treat malaria, and she saved millions of lives with it, because chlorinique, which interestingly is now being used or tested to be used for COVID, was not as effective after a while. So this artemisinin, and it's called, this extract from Artemisia, is actually more effective. So I love that there's this correlation between the Artemisia and the
We're talking about the Nobel Prize here, which is impressive.
So power in this natural medicine, and we thank you for hanging in there with us. If you have any questions, message us. And we
Absolutely.
will see you tomorrow morning.
One thing I want to say just to close, one of our dear friends, Beth, had texted us. When we show acupuncture points, it's on both sides of the body. It's bilateral. Bilateral means both sides, unless they're on the trunk in the front or the back, the thorax.
Hi,
we will
Beth.
say otherwise. So, Beth, I'm
She's on
answering
here
your question. Yes, it's both sides of the body.
Yes.
Same with stomach 36 that we just noted. Both sides of the body. You
Yep.
can do both, but you're fine with one, too.
All
Okay?
right.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for
Thanks.
joining us again, as always. Take care.